Welcome, chat.
Hi, chat.
So it's
Hello,
come to
everybody.
this.
Hey, Alucard.
We are on the last chapter of the Dead Space 2023 remake. Hannah, did you think we were going to get this far?
I had,
Just kidding. I knew we were going to.
yeah, I
No, I'm
had a
fucking
little
with you.
bit of doubt going in, but I knew we would see it through to the end.
Yeah, I figured this being the 16th or maybe 17th time through, I'll probably be all right.
Yeah, you're good.
I didn't believe in you,
I'm glad there was someone,
and
because
I
like
still
without that
think you're
pressure,
not going to
just,
make
like,
it.
exactly. Like, what's the point?
That tracks. That sounds about right.
Tom, we have kids. You got to give up on your dream of beating Dead Space.
We have kids.
We have
have
children
kids.
to feed.
What are you talking about?
Get a job at my father's firm.
I thought when you said kids, I thought you were referring to the cats.
That's what I thought at first too, but
That too.
they'll always find something to eat.
Oh wait, can you turn left again? Is that just a hanging body?
Yeah.
Look
So, I guess to catch us up on where we are
at
at.
Your little antler hands shoved him
Oh,
over.
no.
Oh yeah, no, they count.
Oh, no.
They're rigid bodied out.
There he goes. There they go. There
This is
they
like a new
go.
dance move, It's like
Yeah.
the TikTok stuff's getting really wild nowadays.
Ah.
Jiggling.
The TikTok stuff immediately aged me 60 years. Yeah, so we're back. Welcome everyone. We're back with Dead Space. This is hopefully the last live stream. At least it shouldn't take me more than one live stream to do the final chapter. We are on Ages 7, I want to say. This is where my memory is failing me about where in the lore we are, but we are on...
I think we're like ages 13 plus.
Yeah, ages like 1 through 6, probably. At least I want to say. Yeah, okay, ages 7, because they do mention some of the other ones, I think, in some of the books. From a lore nerd standpoint, had to have my shit right, obviously. Yeah, so we're on the last one. Hannah, what's going on so far? Do you want to catch us up?
Yes, Hannah.
Because everyone knows that Hannah is the world's biggest Dead Space fan, and has been paying attention ever... I don't know what the fuck that just was. Ever since we started this stream, right?
Yeah. So you've been wandering around the ship, completing different missions. It seems like you're always supposed to... There's the evil doctor.
Yeah,
He should be named Dr.
not
Evil,
wrong.
but that's not his name.
Mm-hmm.
There's this bitch who looks a little bit like Claire Danes.
This bitch. Yeah.
It seems like you have a mission to complete, which in my mind has never like made logistical sense, because it's like it seems like you have to do a lot of back and forth. So it's like you have to either open a door or make sure something is charged up, right? Make sure a train's running on time. Make sure so and so is still alive. I don't think anyone is still alive, though, honestly.
I mean, that's a pretty fair assessment. That's if this were my first time playing this, I would just assume everyone dies anyway, because that's what these games love to do.
Yeah. And you are trying to essentially, I don't think you're the one trying to put the marker back, but you are trying to get rid of it, right?
Yes, so what we're trying to do, based on Dr. Kine, I want to say it's still Dr. Kine. That's how long it's been since I've like actually paid attention to who it is. Dr. Kine believes that if we return the marker back to Aegis 7, this like hive mind monster or whatever this thing is, it's on like some pretty staticky video clips, is basically going to like re-accept it, and that it will stop trying to spread its like psychokinetic influence over people in like the... I actually don't know how far the spread is of the red marker, but I'm sure it's pretty far.
Oh, there's Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole?
Hey, girl. Our ex-girlfriend.
Well, I don't know that that's official. I mean, in the same logic you use to determine that Link and Zelda are fucking, I mean, are you sure that they ever actually broke up? Are you sure it just like wasn't one fight?
There was a big cutscene where he said, like, almost... I feel like he explicitly said this is why things didn't work out when she was pushing him about his parents' suicide.
I guess, yeah.
Link's parents kill themselves?
Yes.
Welcome to
No,
Dead Space,
no.
Hannah. Let's start from the beginning. Actually,
We're
to be fair, that's only new in the remake. That's not a detail that they put in the original.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking about the Isaac. Isaac. So Nicole is a psychologist, and she
Allegedly.
was helping Isaac through his grief after his parents, who were unitologists, killed themselves. But it's not the most ethical thing to do to date your patients or treat your lovers. So they,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the #1 rule for therapists of any kind is to not date your patient.
I think it's strong #2. #1 is
I thought
if
it was
someone
confidentiality.
If someone, okay, #3. So #1 is confidentiality. #2 is the exception to that, which is if someone threatens to harm themselves or others, right? Then you have a right to report it. And then #3 is don't bang them. Yes.
I don't.
I remember when Hippocrates said all of those things, especially the "don't bang them" in that exact phrasing.
Yeah.
Truly wise beyond his era.
Yeah.
Also, hello to everybody in chat. I am terrible at reading it right now because I'm trying to remember where exactly I am at with most of this.
Well, that's where the
XYZ says the correct answer is that you are trying to quote unquote make us whole.
That's right. So if anyone's looked at any of the, I almost said branding, and that's not right. Any of the description or text decoration around the events for this, what is the goal here, Hannah? What is it that the marker, and it seems like all these different psychological entities want us to do. They want us to do what?
Become one with the marker.
Essentially, yeah. Specifically, they say the phrase "make us whole" again, which would imply that at one point we were all one thing.
And this is part of it that I'm like actually fuzzy on.
I don't.
Hannah's always seen race.
I don't. Fuck off, Cameron.
Felix says, maybe it's just me, but I always help my exes stop cataclysmic world-ending events, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, that's a true chat.
Do you have a Heroes Complex Felix 500XYZ?
Oh, you changed your outfit.
Hero?
I did, so I upgraded my suit to one more level.
You.
I'm not going to hit the max, but...
Tony Stark-esque.
I mean, listen, inflation hits all of us, especially those of us on higher difficulties of life, and... I mean, you just kind of have to roll with it. Like, can't really fix it right now.
Yeah, I don't think inflation hit Tony Stark all that hard. Thank you very much. He caused inflation, if anything.
Yeah. All right. So...
Yeah, sort of a favorite complex, I would say, comes from playing a lot of video games. I feel that. I have an anxiety complex. And discovered through therapy that I have not one, but I think 3 different types of attachments. Let's see.
Is a laser sight one of them?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's
mine. I've got a side grip, and then I've got
hell yeah, like
a keyhole attachment,
like
which is like a single blast shotgun. Yeah.
You have the literal new tube as one of yours.
Yes. And then my third attachment is just a mag holder, just a classic like extra mag holder.
I think those are pretty good options, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I think the flashlight is one of those. It's also kind of like not very popular, but it's still pretty good. Like you gotta have one.
It's useful, yeah.
Someone was just talking about that in games, actually. About there was a period in which a lot of like shooters did this thing where if there was like dark sequences in the game, you could either have your gun up or your flashlight.
Doom 3, I feel like pioneered that.
That was the one, actually. They were talking about the duct tape mod, if I recall correctly.
Which I get, and this is like maybe a hot take, because I think people universally aren't huge fans of Doom 3. But while it wasn't executed perfectly, the duct tape mod to me takes away the focus of that game. It makes it play a lot more like modern Doom. It's like a classic boomer shooter, which is fun. But for me, like, they're trying to make Doom 3 a horror game, and the having to switch between a flashlight and a gun was a huge part of that.
And that's what people were saying too, is like the duct tape mod was controversial because a lot of people thought, oh, this is great, now I can play it with like such a like less of a hindrance because of it, but then it kind of like changes what the game is supposed to be.
It almost changes the game's genre entirely. Yeah. It's I guess, and this is me I'm not like huge into mods, but I've done like mods in Skyrim and stuff. I would go far enough to say that Doom 3's duct tape mod is the smallest mod that changes the genre of the game you are playing. And so I'd be really interested if chat has like an example of something that's as small as that totally changes the genre of the game you're playing.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like, I think the immediate game that comes to mind is like stuff like Minecraft, obviously, because that's kind of the nature of those mods. But I think I'm trying to think of other like games where it's not like universally like accepted that that's kind of the point. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of other like what are some other games that have mods like that where.
I mean, there are mods for everything, but in my opinion, they either don't really change. They add things onto it, but they don't change the fundamental game loop of what you're doing, or they are super extensive. Like, there are mods for like Skyrim that totally change the type of game you're playing, but they are like massive. Like, it's essentially like a DLC as a mod.
Right.
When you say mod, what do you mean?
Ooh, we mean modification. So it's essentially, especially on PC games, but it can happen everywhere. It's you're changing the programming code of the game to change the game in a certain way. I'm trying to think of an example you've experienced. And it's weird. I feel like they're I don't know, Tom, do you have a strong opinion on mods versus cheats? Because I was going to say, like, when Hannah was playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, we used mods, like, we let Alucard have, like, he was essentially invincible. But I know most people would call that a cheat.
Well, yeah, so I guess, like, it kind of depends, like, I think the problem is games from, like, that, like, I guess era, you could say, like, late 80s, well, I guess even as early as, like, Adventure or whatever. I guess, like, it's more of an Easter egg. There are games that, like, their intention is to have cheats, like, put in by the developers, like, on purpose. Whether that was, like, a debug menu, which is something that has an actual, like mechanical usage for, like, the, like, development and, like, furthering of the game as intended. And then there are things like modifications which are not created by, like, the original, like, the dev team, I guess, could be one. So it kind of depends on, like, your definition between, like, cheat and... I'm just gonna reassess where I'm at. Like, I don't know. I think they're definitely two separate categories, but I think like nowadays, like intentional like cheats or Easter eggs and things aren't really like common. Maybe as like, you know, like references and things. But in terms of like actual cheat codes, where it's like it's something that is made by the original developers that fundamentally changes how a system of the game works. I think honestly more of those seem to be like intentional. Like you could say some accessibility features do that depending on the game. Like some
that's a good point. So Hannah, I would say
with The Sims, I would use cheat codes to get a lot of money so I can make my home that I wanted.
Yeah, so I'd say the difference, Hannah, mods are generally fan-made changes to the game.
Okay.
And again, they can do all sorts of stuff with mods. Example, so you've seen us play Monster Hunter before. You can mod Monster Hunter. You can add a mod to it, which is essentially you go online, you download some files, you add it into your game's directory, Hannah, and it'll let you like see the monster health bars, or do stuff like change the way your outfit looks, or change the way your weapons look.
Come on,
Things like that can be mods.
Yeah.
Alucard,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alucard is asking, are you going to play Silent Hill when it comes out?
I don't know that I will, just because I have so much on my plate as it is.
I
but
will
know Cameron's
not.
talked about it. Did you
Hannah
know
will.
talking about playing
No.
it?
I don't know when is it coming out? Is it coming out anytime soon? We're talking about Silent Hill 2 remake, right?
Silent Hill 2 or
I don't think
Silent
they're
Hill.
making a
Sorry,
new
I'm
one,
thinking
right?
of Resident Evil. I was like, didn't that already get one? And it did, because Ian is here. Hello, Ian. Replacing
Hey, Ian.
Mr. X in Resident Evil with Shrek. Yeah, so like I guess like Skyrim has those types of like
The dragons. You can replace the
Mini
dragons with
yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine.
here, I'll send you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it kind of depends on like how you view it, because it's been so long since like there were whole websites dedicated just to like having like cheats and things like that. Do I not have to push this?
Yeah, but there's like, it doesn't have to be silly stuff. There are mods out there that like Hannah, they add entire like additional quests and adventures to Skyrim, or add like change the way the magic system works or something like that.
Right. Sorry, I probably forgot what the last like question was. I was a little.
Are we gonna play Silent Hill when it comes out?
I would be down to either play and or be like on.
It doesn't have a release date, so I mean maybe, but it's not. It's set to be released for Windows and is a timed exclusive for PlayStation 5. I don't have a PlayStation 5. I'm not planning on getting a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
When it eventually comes out on PC, I'll probably play it. And yeah, we'll have Hannah stream it for charity or something. We'll figure something out.
I'm not gonna play it, I said.
She's not gonna play it, she said.
We'll see. She's got to play Resident Evil 3 next first.
Are you going to do them all like in order?
That's yeah. We did 0, we did 1, we did 2.
Ian, Hannah doesn't care about the children.
I mean, that is canonically true.
Oh,
You cut out.
that's not true. I care about children.
You've very explicitly said you don't like kids.
Like
Yeah,
all
but that
kids?
doesn't mean that
Damn.
I don't. Just because
You
I
were
don't
kids
like
once.
them doesn't mean that I don't care about them.
Hannah, I know what you mean. Like I don't.
No,
I have no like problem.
Ian, that is not true. She cares strongly about puppies or kittens.
I
If there was
Right.
my life for my
Hannah,
dog
is
and my cat.
this a false statement? If you walked by a building and you found that it was on fire,
Goddamn.
and you saw on the second story window, on one side of the building, there was a small kid screaming and crying for help, and on the other side of the building, the second story building, you saw a puppy crying for help, you'd save the puppy.
I would try to save the kid first.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that's kind of a. Actually, I don't know. I don't really know how that like.
But I
works out
would
in terms of moral
very
values.
much go back
Um,
and save the puppy.
Henderson says, "You mean you don't want to pay $500 for a console that's going to be obsolete in 5 years?" Yeah, that's kind of how I view it. It's not that I don't mind. Like if I'm buying a console, I'm probably buying it pretty early on, like in its like life cycle.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I figure I am with the PS5 now, because like the timing of it was really bad. Like the amount of time it spent being like it's impossible to get one. I think this is the
Yeah.
longest one.
I just think I feel like the era of like needing a like
Damn.
the only reason I'd buy a console is because of the exclusives, and I feel like that's not a thing anymore except for Nintendo systems.
Yeah, I think like the exclusives has definitely become like, well, I guess like Starfield, I guess has been like the most recent example of one that people cared enough to like kind of play that game again. But I don't know that's
I mean,
gonna,
but
like,
that's
work
on
in the future
Steam.
because is it? Yeah, okay. So it's on Steam. It's on all the platforms that Microsoft has some stake in, regardless, even if it's not on.
Yeah.
I guess it would be on Game Pass, but like.
I guess, like, what is it, Spider-Man? Like, I don't care enough about
Bloodborne,
Spider-Man.
yeah, some of the others are there. This is a
Okay.
trap on Anzerum. Only because she
Even
might be
if I-
subject to prosecution if she chose the puppy.
Which is really dumb.
Real.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
No, that's not
Fuck
what I
them
mean,
kids.
but like I feel like it's the same way when you if someone were choking and you were to perform CPR on them and you save their life and then
Yeah.
that person, the victim, then turns around and sues you because you accidentally bruised or cracked a rib or something while performing life-saving work. I feel like it's like that. I don't know why.
I'm with you. Look, no one can prove that kid didn't start the fire. Whereas puppies don't have opposable thumbs. They can't light matches.
Where is the fire department, the services that people's tax dollars go to pay? Why am I being responsible, an unprofessional person who is not qualified to rush and save this hypothetical puppy and or child?
Yeah, where is the taxpayer? Where is the fireman? Where is the milkman? Where's the paperboy?
Yeah, I agree with Henderson here. Like
Even
this
TV.
feels like a modified trolley problem, and these are the kinds of like moral quandaries that I've like thought about these before, but I'm also like, well, I don't know. The hypotheticals are fun to think about for some people, I guess, but I don't really see the value in the ones that are specifically like, well, what do you value more as like a living thing?
Cheryl, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm back to myself. Like I'm 100% on the mend. I don't know, Hannah. I guess have you noticed a significant increase in snoring or anything?
No more than usual.
Yay!
So that's good, I take it.
Yeah.
Normal amount of.
That is true,
Just-
Ian. Yeah, the cast of Seinfeld did go to jail because they didn't save somebody. Oh, this is the one I
Which I don't know. It's a funny premise, and I recognize there were laws like that, but I feel like there was an actual review, and there was a case that got turned to be unconstitutional, where you can't force someone. I don't know. Maybe I'm half
for someone
remembering.
to save. Yeah,
something.
this sounds familiar.
I'm super tired. Also, we did not get a good night's sleep last night.
Oh, welcome to this side of the plane of existence, Cameron. What's it? How you feeling?
It sucks. This is awful.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
All day I've been tired. The mega stuff was keeping us awake. We're trying a different bedtime routine tonight to see if we can tire her little butt out.
Oh, the cats stay up late at night.
No,
they wake up early. They wake up at like 3.
She specifically wakes up at between 3 and 4 a.m. wanting to play, and she'll like rubber paws against the glass D12 shelves in our bedroom so they shake and make noise to get us up, because she wants to have someone play with her. She doesn't want us to be in the bedroom. She wants someone to walk with her out to the living room and play with her and give her attention.
That sounds like a cat that I know. Sounds like most cats, actually, that I know.
Yeah.
Not that Midden is any particular case, but I totally get that. She does the exact same thing.
Not a fan. I feel like not. I don't know.
And that is one other reason why I recognize I am not ready for children, because I'm that cranky getting up at 3 a.m. for a cat.
So mad.
And I'd have to keep a little thing, potato, alive.
The nice thing is with kids, there is, at least in our situation, we have a lot of hands on hand if that were a situation that needed to happen.
I really view myself like I would be, if money were no object. This isn't the case because I'm poor. But if money were no object,
Did you just say you're poor?
I genuinely feel that I would be one of those moms who just hires a full-time nanny and or midwife live-in, and that's who gets up every hour on the hour.
Wait, are you setting the bar for poverty if someone can hire a full-time nanny?
Folks, we're gonna get real political and moral.
What I was saying is, if I had if money were no object and I had all the money in the world and had a baby, I would be the kind of mom who chooses to spend money on a live-in midwife or nurse or what have you, nanny. But that is
what are we, middle class?
That's not the case. No, you're 1%.
What do you think we are? Slightly higher middle class?
Middle class.
What's the saying? Why are you wearing a tux? It's after 6. What am I, a farmer?
Oh, right.
Double Jojo says, "LOL." 1% say what? Question mark.
That's fair. That's fair. Speaking of 1%, I was going to talk about this because I thought this was hilarious. So I love Marshawn Lynch. I think he's hilarious. He's been getting into acting. He's really good in Bottoms. If you want to check out, if you have an appetite for raunchy teen comedies, Bottoms is great, and Marshawn Lynch is hilarious in it. But he was recently on. I watched the channel First We Feast in the Burger Show. I'm a big fan of that. And they did they made different burgers, and Marshawn was there, and he was tasting them. And they brought him out a $1,200 burger, and he's tries it, and he's like, "This, I'm not a fan of this. It tastes like an old couch cushion." And they're like, "Well, this is like the Tesla burgers. It's got all this technology and design in it, and all this technique." And he's like, "Yeah, I had a Tesla, and I got rid of that shit because it sucked." And I was like, "Yeah, Marshawn, you tell it like it is."
Real.
Good job.
Yeah. Never stop being real, Marshawn.
Get over here, damn it. Not you. Hey, there's one.
Hey.
Oh, they are coming at you. They're upset with you.
I mean, this is the last chapter, so I don't know if this is true on normal. Maybe there's 1 or 2 ads here, but typically it's this big brute. Big brute. There he is. We have fought at least 2 or 3 of these guys before. These are the guys who have weaknesses behind their giant, weird dragging arms and their.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get a good view of it. Yeah, it's their shoulder blades are marked as explosive material.
Yeah.
But I guess on hard they have a bunch of them, or a bunch of extra enemies come after you as well. I was not expecting that, so I'm very poorly managing my resources, but we're getting through it, and that's the important part, right, Hannah?
Yeah, it's the last level. It's
all about making us whole again. That is the important message to take away. Fuck charity, fuck doing good things for people. It's just about making us whole again. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Alucard says, when are you doing Resident Evil 3 Remake?
Alucard, we're not sure. Or I think we're still in our low power mode for the rest of this year. So I'll say not anytime soon. I don't know what is planned for after Dead Space, but I'll say it's not the Resident Evil 3 remake. So Hannah, it's been a little while since you've been on stream. How's life been for you?
You know what? Life's been pretty good. We just got back from a weekend in New York, which was lovely.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
favorite city. I love that
the
city.
bit being Henderson, that obviously that's not true. But hey, I mean, look how shiny this marker is. It's just telling me to say those things, like, you know.
Yeah.
The marker made me do it.
The marker made me do it.
Sorry, continue, Hannah.
No, I was just saying that how much I love New York City, and I had a great time there.
How much do you love New York City?
People...
If New York City was in the second-story window of a burning building,
the entirety of New York City.
Yeah.
No hesitation. I would save the whole city.
What if it was just Staten Island?
What if it was just Staten Island? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what if it was just Staten Island in the second-story window of a burning building?
I think everybody else in New York would say no.
Do it.
Yeah. The rest of New York is screaming at you.
Brooklyn, the Bronx, fucking everyone together would just be like, listen, unanimously no.
Let it burn.
Why do they hate Staten Island so much?
Vampires.
I don't think they really do that as much as we make it out to be. It's just a funny joke. It's like, it's the most disconnected part of the city from the rest of it. I remember I had a friend, a friend and a coworker who lived in Staten Island, and while I was living in Queens, and like they'd always come hang out with us. And every time after we were like hanging out at the bars and stuff and getting ready to like stumble back home, they'd always be like, "Hey, after party at my place," and it's like, I mean, she had like a really nice house. It was awesome. Pool and stuff to hang out in. But it's in fucking Staten Island. And it's like, I'm not gonna make it all the way over there.
I guess we didn't go there during our trip, but I don't know how long it is compared to like going to like
I want to say it's
Manhattan
like
to Brooklyn.
You know what? Let me Google Maps it.
Well, you have to take the ferry, right?
Yeah, that's the big part of the problem.
I think I have a great uncle who lives on Staten Island.
It's 45 minutes from Brooklyn, and that's like the fastest thing. If you want to take public transit, it's 2 hours.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's like you're if you're like certain people trying to get there from Manhattan, you're almost better off going through Jersey City to get to Staten Island than like directly. It's no offense to Staten Island, it's just like very much its own thing. But because of that, like you can get a lot more for your. You used to. I don't know if it's true still. You used to be able to get a lot more for your money in terms of real estate. And there are, we'll say, a lot of eligible women looking to bring someone home to Staten Island, but those New York guys refuse.
What about Long Island? How long does it take for a Long Island commute? Because I know they have the railroad.
I mean, it's right next to Queens, right? Like we were on the LIRR, like.
Yeah.
So it's.
I'm not convinced that they say. I know that you know we're tourists, obviously, or we're visiting, but like, did they really not just call it the LIR? Call it the LIRR every time?
I mean, I commuted on it, and that's what I called it, and that's what people call it to me. I don't. I'm not a native. Oh, look at that little squid skull.
Yeah, you remember I fought like 2 of these in that one room where it was very hard not to die.
I like those. They remind me of the scarab bugs in the Mummy.
I like that there is at least a necromorph that you enjoy, Hannah. There are. I feel the same way about many of them. I actually like the little 3-tentacled baby things.
I hate them.
I hate them sometimes. But I guess they are kids technically.
Jesus Christ! What are you doing?
What is who doing?
Like generally?
Or she's talking about the pets.
Yeah, our female cat. God damn.
What's her being a woman have to do with it?
Yeah, let's dig into that a little deeper.
Hannah does have some deeply repressed, like I don't know what you call it, self-targeted misogyny.
I don't
Is this true?
mean to.
No, I know that's yeah, you do, but you do your best to handle it. What was Mega Stuff doing?
She was trying to jump up onto the top of the window pane.
Oh, damn! From your desk?
Yeah. So
Damn,
like
she's got
luckily it's locked, but like my fear is the window's gonna bust open.
Yeah, because it does fold out.
Right.
Yeah. She does have hops. We readjusted our bedroom to try and get her to stop climbing up onto the detolf shelves, and she like just started jumping that gap. It's nuts. She like goes flying.
Have you had to do any like adolescent cat proofing of the house? Or the apartment?
No,
I should say?
because I didn't plan for the cats. I just brought them in, so there's been no proofing of any kind.
We've done a little.
Every day.
We've done like we have little baby dividers up, and we've rearranged some stuff. I think a big thing that we're doing now is I'm gonna be using like mesh sheaths around Hannah's wiring because they've chewed through her webcam cord I think twice now.
He doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I'm just wondering if it's something specifically with female cats instead of male cats, because I feel like Francis doesn't
It's just
nearly as often as she.
it's weird that you immediately think that it must be a gender thing versus just Mega Stuff being Mega Stuff.
Well,
Is
I'm
that-
just like, I had two other cats growing up. I had
Oh, shit.
Cece and Tito, and Tito was like pretty chilled and laid back and didn't really mess with things. And Cece would get into shit if she got upset with you about something.
What kind of like cats? Like what color were they?
Tito was
Orange.
gray. He was definitely a Maine Coon. And then Cecilia was just a black cat, short-haired black cat.
Nice.
There we go. Finally.
Nice.
Give me the combos I deserve, please.
Yeah, that was good. That was clean.
Not really.
Henderson. Internalized misogyny is a real kicker. Good thing we support women's wrongs in this house. A woman, sister.
Where's the other? This is the one that's tripping up.
I've got some stories, Cheryl. I don't know that there's like
Story like.
Oh, Cheryl said Cameron sounds like he has some New York stories. I guess most recently, while we were out and about this weekend, I think it was a lot of, Hannah, I think you felt it too, a lot of like nostalgia, right?
Nostalgia and joy and pure happiness. And you know how, like, people, if you've ever gone to a city or a location and you just kind of know deep in your soul and your bones that that's where you belong? That's how I feel about New York City.
We went to a place called DeFera's Pizza for a bite one night. I think this was before we went out for karaoke. And I forgot, like, it feels like a very East Coast thing, not a very Midwest thing, that like they don't give a fuck about if you're there, you like know their business. So I think the restaurant owner was having problems with. It was her sister wasn't spending like money wisely and causing problems. We got to hear like all about it while we were waiting for a slice.
Oh yeah, we talked about that on Monday.
Tea was being spilled, and it was great.
Yeah,
it was very New York, that's for sure.
The only other thing I realized, I don't think we mentioned in our Monday recap, we went to Smorgasburg, which is a food festival in Brooklyn, and there I got to. There's a bakery, BB's Bakery. It's an Iranian American-owned bakery based in New York, and I had a saffron ice cream sandwich, and it was so good.
That was really good.
Super good.
It was the best.
She said the thing.
Yeah.
I said the thing. What?
Not you, Nicole did.
Over here. God damn.
Make us whole.
Make us Nicole again.
She wants a tentacle to make her whole?
She wants us to do it.
Listen, Hannah, you said it, okay? Just so that everyone else knows.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got it, Tom. It's all you.
Health is a resource. God damn it. I hate the armored ones so much. Please. I wish every armored necromorph would already die.
Yeah, Henderson, I think that's a really good point. It's so pervasive in so many aspects of our culture that I think even the most well-meaning and informed of us struggle with it. Absolutely. I think it's like psychology, right? Like, just because someone is a psychologist and they know how like the mind works and reacts to stimuli, that doesn't like magically make you immune to the nature of influence and things like that, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It is definitely internalized to the point where even like recognizing the small things are, and like for everybody. I mean, obviously for women and femme presenting people as well, but also just like from every side of that coin, I guess. There's like a lot of like the little like behaviors, not like microaggressions, but like little behaviors and things that we don't realize. It's like, oh right, it's almost like a subconscious like gender role thing.
Oh, can you get the combo again?
Yeah, that one's much easier this time.
Oh, except that little persistent fucker.
I can feel my ADD meds wearing off, so I'm like trying to like come up with a response while also trying to like manage resources I'm not currently looking at.
Yeah, Hannah, I got in a fight last week. You almost got in a fight yesterday.
Yeah, what is the story that's in?
What's
over here?
What's been going on with us?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, so last night I went to pick up my tacos for dinner from Taqueria Mercado, which is on the corner of 7th and
my friend Roy took me there recently. It is great.
Yeah, best tacos in the area. And I've been on a taco kick this week. So that was the second time this week. Anyway, so I went to pick them up. And as I was exiting the building, two gentlemen, one was holding the door open, and I was hangry, so I was Tom seen me hangry, so I was like keeping to myself. I was very focused, right? It was just to get in, get out, get back home so I can eat.
I wasn't there at the time.
Cameron wasn't there at the time, which was fine. Like, it was 6:45. Like, I don't feel unsafe in the city. But anyway, so these two dudes are walking out. I don't really pay attention to them. One of them holds the door open for me. And I hear one of them say as I'm leaving, like, yeah, sometimes I'm into ugly bitches. Sometimes. Not always, but I'll take an ugly bitch. Or, like, something like that. And I immediately turned around and gave this, look and was physically biting my tongue. Because, like, to be fair, I don't know if they were talking about me specifically or if I just internalized that and was making a big deal out of nothing, which is very likely. Or if they were just being douche frat bros, because I feel like that could also be very likely. So I turned around and gave him a really nasty look, biting my tongue before I said something stupid to, actually cause a situation. And one of them, the gentleman who held the door open for me, said, "Not about you. This isn't about you."
No, I'm
And
sorry.
I
I was
said,
talking
"Okay."
about the necro.
And I just, walked on. But so, like, who knows? But I recognize, like, I'm never gonna see him again, and
Nope.
and it like I said, it is very likely that I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill, and they weren't talking about me at all. They were talking about someone else.
They couldn't have been talking about you. They were talking about someone who's ugly.
But it's just, well, thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. But, ugh. But I think I was angrier at the fact that, like, that's what they were using to describe her. I think that's
it's
what I
still,
like. The
they
root
shouldn't be
cause,
talking about anyone.
the root cause of the anger, I think, is that they used those two words at all.
It's like
Right.
a fucked up thing to even like be talking about in public, regardless. Like I don't like, if people want to talk about like preferences in like physical appearance, whatever. But it's like there's kind of like, I don't know, kind of an etiquette to like talking about that stuff like in person. Like what would possess you to want to like be like, yeah, like here's my like preference about like people that I view as ugly. It's like great. That's why.
Yeah.
Why do you think that that's necessary to talk about right now?
I mean, I think
Then,
it's when it's
shallow
two
hell.
dudes, because
Right.
it's posturing. Yeah.
But, like, even now there are, I'm not gonna call them jokes because that's not what they are.
They have to be funny to be
Just
jokes.
like mean comments.
But yeah, there's mean
Oh, shit.
comments even like on TikTok where where I think they're more so like teenage boys, but they'll say
Oh, shit.
something like record themselves on TikTok saying something like, "What if I took you out to dinner? What if I, took you on a really nice date?"
Oh.
And night, and
Felix, I
just
would, but
punched-
I don't have any. Sorry, what were you saying, Hannah?
Did you die again?
I did. I'm not managing my health very well. I'm trying to
It
play
is
a shitty shooting gallery.
hardcore mode.
You gotta do some. That was
Ooh.
Francis.
Yeah, he just slid his fishy under the door. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back.
Oh, put me here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were. Your point. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I didn't have a point. I was just rambling.
But see, that's like, I think you had a point. Like, you're still talking about like how you feel about the situation or how you feel about like the concept of this in general. Like, that's still valid. I don't know. Maybe that's me reading into it, but I feel like that's. I've had a few friends like growing up who were like women and femme presenting who had that kind of thing about being like, oh, like whatever I say, like it's not important. It's just like rambling. And like obviously I recognize like where that probably comes from is like a lot of like shitty men just being like, why are you still talking or things of that nature. I don't have a good example of it, but like I feel like I encounter that a lot. And like get it. That sucks. That sucks that even has to be a thing. Oh, I didn't press the fucking button.
Oh, damn!
Armored one, seriously. Nah, that's death.
Cool. Boy. Do they have helmets on?
They have. If you look at it,
no.
Hannah, they're kind of wearing like the similar armor, the engineering suits that Isaac is wearing.
Yeah, I keep going for the legs when what I should be doing is getting their arms.
It's a
Their armor.
necromorph that got turned from like some station engineer.
Yeah. I'm not really adding much to this conversation, obviously, but I at least recognize what we're talking about.
It sucks that there's not a more favorable checkpoint.
Well, I mean, I have like all of the tendrils that were blocking the path before are gone.
Oh, that's nice, please.
Yeah. What do we not have? Oh, fuck, no, it locks it. Okay. Boy, that's really not good. I wonder if I can scavenge for anything. That might help me here.
Before you press the button, that makes sense.
I mean, maybe, but if there is, it's going to be pretty rare. Is it all back? Oh, maybe that's what I need to do is...
Take out the tentacles for, like, see what'll trigger... Because when you hit the button, that's when more necromorphs come out of the walls, right?
Yes, I could also try to use the tendrils to... If I keep them alive, I can use them to kill them as they chase me.
Oh. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, with the
It's
amount of
tricky,
health I
though.
have, it's pretty risky, yeah. It's the perfect last conundrum to be in before the end of the game. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus on this right now, so I haven't...
Yeah, Hannah, what's up?
I'm utilizing Google's Bard for an About Me statement.
What's Google's Bard?
The AI chat. AI.
Boo! Boo! Write your own About Me statement. You need an AI to tell you about you?
It's like make it stand out, so I'm just trying to figure out the best way. Maybe it can give me ideas to draft.
By definition, the way those language algorithms work, it can't stand out because it's using the statistically likely next word when it's building a response. I think, and this is not me like razzing on you or anything, I think people don't always know like what an AI, like what we call an AI, these language AIs actually do. Like it was funny. Someone was like, they published an AI written book, and like you can tell immediately because it's the most like generic, like median language thing there, because it's just like it's not coming up with an idea, it's just replicating likely language.
You're talking about like the large language models and
Yes,
like that, yeah.
like ChatGPT, Google Bard,
Right, yeah.
whatever Microsoft is calling their version of like AI, something Cortana. Yeah, it's I've seen it more and more. I mean, and I get it. It's at some point I'm going to become the caveman, and I'm sure we'll find like actual use cases. I just haven't seen it demonstrated in a way that I find that adds value right now. One person was like, "I'm writing I want to do a D&D campaign, so I'm using ChatGPT to like do the game," and it's like, I saw an example of what it did, and like it's clear that it doesn't know the rules. It's not able to run the game. All it does is like, if you ask it to describe a room, it describes the room, but it doesn't. It doesn't give you any meat.
Yeah, I mean,
If
that's
that
not
makes sense.
right. That's why
Like,
like, there is no artificial intelligence. There is just machine learning, and there are models of things that get very close because they are trained on many nested levels. Like AI, or what we call AI now, does not understand context. Like if is an example from an article from like a long time ago, but it's like, say like I cut myself like cutting fruit or whatever, and like in a panic I ask my Google Home, like, Google, call me an ambulance. It's gonna say, okay, from now on I will call you an ambulance. Good afternoon, ambulance. The weather is 58 degrees. It doesn't understand context. Now, we can train more layers of it to get better at guessing context. That is kind of what I mean, there is artificial intelligence, but it's not intelligence of the way of, like, the terminology escapes me. Oh, right.
No AI is rising up against us yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, we hit the thing. The loader is activated. The marker is back here
I think
after
Nicole's
this weird
gonna die.
tendril fight. I mean, maybe. It's possible. She is weirdly calm in this situation. I don't know if you've noticed that,
Yeah.
Hannah, but that seems a little off.
She's super chill.
Following you anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just kind of appearing places.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
other thing too. You could also ask your friends to help. I mean, I don't think there's any harm in like using those models and stuff to like figure them out. Apparently, a lot of developers where I work use them, and I didn't realize that. But I also like the act of making it a little bit more social.
And
Also,
it's
content
just
warnings for suicide.
when people are, and this is, I'm not trying to be judgy, but I'm going to be judgy. When someone is like trying to use it to replace the creative process, like at that point, it's like, okay, well, what's the value in what you're doing? Like this person's trying to like homebrew a campaign, and it's like, okay, it's going to describe you a room, but it's not going to tell you like what's there to like unlock in that room or explore or things like that. It's just going to fill out the room with crap.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So the marker's
So
here. Game's done.
Yeah, if you're using ChatGPT to run your homebrew game, that's fine and it might work for you, but it tells me there's nothing of interest for me.
We've got to go. The payload from the planet crack is about to fall.
I gave you a chance to come around, Isaac.
Now this part confuses me, but we'll talk about why later.
What do you mean? It's our friend Daniels.
This time, watch to the end.
And it's our, I guess, ex-girlfriend, Nicole.
Yeah.
Isaac, it's me. Oh, I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I'm
Interesting.
Sorry about everything.
Mega stuff.
I just
What are you
wish I
doing,
could talk to
sweetie?
someone. It's all
Yeah? Are you chirping?
falling apart here.
Oh,
I can't.
You looking
kitty
out the
cat
window?
chirps.
Yeah, she chirps a lot.
Strange. Such a little thing.
You're a good girl.
Just had a talk.
Please don't jump up. Please
That's all
just
this
sit.
research was.
Do you have a favorite, Hannah? If we're doing the trolley problem,
Not
which
much.
one's your
Ollie.
favorite?
Ollie.
I was talking about the cats, but that's a very good answer.
Virgins,
Ollie is her favorite cat.
but I had a different prayer.
Well, he was the first.
And then it listened. Make this stop, I said.
I like
He
how
cuddles me on
IRL
command.
Nicole is not trying to fight this or saying anything.
Yeah.
I know for cinematic purposes, like, they're not. It's just...
So what does Daniels want from this then?
I don't know if she's said yet, but clearly she's betraying us. At least I would
I
assume
mean,
so.
is she? Because she knows, like...
Why can't I see you again?
Actually, I think she did talk about it in the last chapter as we pulled her escape pod back on the tether. Yeah, so Daniels works for some other like Black Ops group or something like that, some espionage
She's trying to get the
thing.
marker to her like rebel group.
They want the marker so they can try to reverse engineer it and figure out how it works and if they can like replicate the signal effect, essentially.
Oh, that's too much. That's
which is
too much.
ironic when you know the truth about it.
That's a lot of work for something that's just not...
You're seeing what Nicole's doing in this video, right, Hannah?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for, like, imagine the person who invents, like, the car engine, and they write down all their notes, and then you think, man, I'm not going to read their memoir, I'm just going to reverse engineer it. Like, okay. You know that humans made it in the first place, so why would you need to reverse engineer it? Just go look for whatever documentation there is.
The reveal!
It wasn't Nicole, it was Elizabeth Cross, I think is her full name.
Yeah.
Which is not in the original game.
You did this to yourself. Nicole's been dead this whole time. You just couldn't handle it, could you? Because if she's gone, at least now it'll be in safe hands. The marker won't turn anyone else into its puppet.
I like that they reused the voice actress for Daniels. She's really good.
No. It's over. We're whole again.
For Christ's sake, I'm not going to ask again, Cross.
No, enough people have died.
Interesting.
Then just do it. I've got nothing left to lose. Cross!
It's better this way.
There he goes.
With like what a boomstick that was, it is kind of funny that she didn't just get blown over the edge. Like That
Yeah.
first and second impact should have knocked her ass over the.
Yeah, that's like one of those like super heavy duty like 45 wielding space guns, for whatever reason. Well, shit.
Oh, so Kendra Daniels, she's not a rebel. She works for EarthGov.
Yeah, sorry, EarthGov is the name. Yeah, and one of their like little special like not splinter groups, but like the people that do
Special
the wet work.
task forces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was not Hammond like she was trying to make it out to seem. It was her. And it was not Nicole that we were seeing. That was Elizabeth Cross.
So Hannah, Nicole's been dead this whole time.
Yeah, I know Black Knight has probably already hinted at it, but do we want to talk about the chapter names?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if you go to Wikipedia, you could probably see it. Are you in the same room as Hannah, Cameron? Can you pull it up? Or Hannah?
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
We're not in the same room.
Okay.
So Hannah,
Yeah.
it's an acrostic. If you read down, I'll copy and paste this for you, and you tell us what you read.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Chapter 1. You want me to read it out loud?
You can, or you can just read the acrostic.
It's the first letter of every chapter name.
It's
Oh, I see it now. Interesting.
Yay.
I
Yeah.
like that.
It honestly, it really was novel. I mean, not novel at the
That's
time,
so
but like,
creative.
yeah, I don't know. It was really
Yeah.
cool. Like, I liked it when I was a kid.
There's another game series that does it, which is
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that was. I should catch it in
fuck.
chat.
Flying Fairy.
Oh, by the way.
Bravely
like to-
Default Flying Fairy.
I
It
can
does
see Bravely
a
Default
similar
doing
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
with their
these guys
chapter
came
names,
up
but
with the
a
Xenomorph
different
origin
way.
before the Alien series did. Xenos and the red marker were created by humans from military. Yeah, Felix. I definitely see like the parallels there, and I mean obviously like Alien inspired a lot of like, if not Dead Space directly, what makes up Dead Space. But I would totally agree in that like, the origin of this is kind of a, I wouldn't say even like a more interesting, because like they both like, they do like the CEC and like the capitalist stuff like super well. I think it's just like the slight difference in like flavor, I guess, that Dead Space does over like the like Weyland-Yutani versus like the CEC. And even like the other
Yes.
groups like EarthGov obviously, but like they do a really good job of like introducing like multiple. It's actually something that the tabletop game for Alien, which I'm playing in a campaign soon, does. Where there's not just Weyland-Yutani, there are other corporations, and they are all kind of like vying for that control, but they're doing it in different ways.
Hi, kitty.
yeah, I really want to play that system with a. I'd like to play it in a one shot at some point. I'll be curious to hear you report out how the campaign goes over time.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I would definitely, the one shots are great because the personal agendas of the pre-gen characters for cinematics are great. Yeah, special thanks to Doomed or our friend Jason over on our Discord server, who has been running that. It's been a lot of fun. I think I've got enough for this. Yeah, so now we know that Nicole's been dead the whole time. What do you think so far, Hannah? How do you feel about this game?
I mean, I don't like it, but
That's very fair.
I guess I enjoyed watching you complete it. I feel like the story also is just a little too convoluted for me.
What do you mean when you say that?
I mean, there's a lot of people to keep up with and remember, and
There's a lot of like small NPCs, like Temple
Yeah.
and Cross, which is also very funny that their names are Temple and Cross. I think I just don't
Yeah.
put that together. They definitely have that like they're important like in the moment, but even in the original, I barely remember anything about them. I recognize their voices from listening to the audio logs, and that's pretty much it. Like beyond
But
that,
I
I
don't
really
think
don't
you
know that much
need-
about Cross and.
I don't know if you need to know much. To me, I feel like
Right.
Dead Space, one of Dead Space strengths is like you can get as deep into the story as you want to. You don't need to.
No, yeah,
to
for
enjoy
sure.
the game.
That is I think the benefit of it is definitely that you get to like turn off like the side story really whenever you want.
Yeah, it's still good old zombie shooting goodness.
All right, I'm
Speaking
gonna
of zombie shooting goodness, was there ever a remake or an update on oh god, Cameron, the game that you and I played that I really liked. It was like super cheesy and like a Tarantino film.
House of the Dead
House of
Overkill.
the Dead, yes.
Oh yeah, that exists.
I think they came out with a. Was there a port recently, or not recently? I guess, but in the past like decade.
I mean, yeah, House of the Dead Overkill. I mean, it's on Wii. I would still want to play it on Wii because it's a light gun game. But it's also on. I think it's also on Steam or PC.
Oh god,
What's up?
don't do that.
It's the climax of the game, and it's also a very intense time for one of the cats.
Yeah.
How fitting.
Don't do that, Francis. We're fine. He's fine.
You good?
He's good.
As long as the cats are okay.
Oh, she's not good.
No. Are you talking about Daniels or the cat? I assume that you were dealing with the cats
Daniels.
right now. I wasn't sure. Okay.
No, the one who just got smashed.
Yeah, that's Daniels. Yeah, she
No,
gone.
at least it was a quick death.
Look at that.
It's a big tardigrade. All right, so this is, I guess for anyone that knows what this is already either played the game or remembers a very short video, like codec thing that we got from someone like 6 chapters back. Oh, bullshit. Okay, I guess they do chip damage here. But this was a thing that Kine tried to warn us about, and this is the thing that he saw a very, like, blurry video of back on the Ishimura, thinking that this must be the thing that's trying to get the marker back. Oh, right. We can do this now, too.
Hey, Ollie Bear.
Do you remember what these? Do you remember the cutscene, Hannah, with the vision with the moons, kind of the planets in the background?
No.
This is a little baby brother moon.
That's a moon?
That's no moon. I had to say it. Sorry. Also, that means Ian should show up any minute now.
It'll keep growing to become its own, like. Well, how would you describe it? It's essentially like a living planetoid.
I think this is a thing from 3 that I don't actually know much about. I know like the blood moons are important.
You have to shoot out all of its little.
Yeah.
Shoot it right in the
And this
groovy
one
spot.
is
What
this one is teeny tiny, Hannah. This is not like a full grown thing.
Oh,
Not
like
hard. That does not do that much damage.
like the size of Ollie Kazarathis'.
Yeah. Exactly. That size, oddly enough.
It's not time yet, BB. We'll go in a little
I will say
bit.
this one moves a lot more on hard than it does on any other.
You're fine.
Ah,
You're fine, Ollie Bear. You're good.
Nice hit. You got one more. Ooh.
yeah. I'm purposely trying to just like hit it while it's in motion so I can just get it over with faster.
Oh, Almost.
I guess I could use ripper blades. I don't know why I didn't bother to do that. Sir, a little busy at the moment.
Oh, we
Gotta
better.
get as many limbs separated per blade.
Here,
That's the
hopefully.
real way to save time and money. No ricochet? Alright, cool. Thank you. All fire. This
Oh,
is
dear.
terrible. Just some old school friends that wanted to come give me a hug.
Like,
Nope. Damn, I wasn't expecting to die on that phase.
I'm always impressed by how calm you are with this, Tom. So, like, I would have just been screaming and hollering and.
I mean,
Alucard,
it's also
yeah,
because
that's
I've
true a little bit. Yep, that's true.
I played
You're
it.
not
Yeah, I
wrong.
played it as much as I have, but like, it's also just because I think my brain is like, every time I start these streams at like 7 p.m. our time, it's always like my brain is like coming down from being in work mode. So it's also where I'm like the most like scatterbrained. And I think at that point, I just, emotional center is kind of like off for a little bit, where I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with dying right now. All right, let's. I'm actually gonna sell a little bit more ammo this time, and then save that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also like I've done it enough where I'm like, it's not like it's not a FromSoft game. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm fine with this. All right, but that's fine because it's only 8:15. I figured this one would go a little bit longer than 30, maybe if it has to.
Okay.
Just to end things. But yeah, hopefully everyone in chat's having a good night. So we've got at least a few people. A few
they
people
are.
more than normal, actually. We already talked about Halloween plans for everyone, didn't we? I think we did.
You
What
guys
are your?
still did on Monday.
Do what?
You probably did on Monday.
Yeah, I think so. That or like a week ago. I don't remember.
Last warning, Isaac. I mean it.
Oh, I'm down to watch this cutscene again.
I'm glad to hear it, Felix.
Oh, good. Felix, I'm glad. Oh,
We
she's
gotta.
smashed. She's gonna get smashed.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Like-
is.
Big old tree trunk.
Good flip.
Woo! Woo! Take too long to get up. Here it comes.
Oh,
Nope. And done.
that's a big old splat.
Yeah.
We've got our costumes. We gotta do like the testing and fitting and stuff this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks,
we do.
Felix.
And then I think on Tuesday we're gonna see about going to a friend's house for a Halloween party. Looking forward to that. Yeah. I am thinking of the right thing. Is the hive mind supposed to be the proto Brother Moon?
I don't know. That's stuff that they established in 3.
Yeah. Let's take a little lore dive.
You explode these things? God damn it. We're moving. Honestly, you know what I think it is? I think maybe my aim is up a little high.
Your auto aim?
Maybe? Well, I don't know if it's auto aim. I think it's just stick dead zone. Oh. No, that was on default. All right. There we go. Felix says, I don't believe so. I think it was an entity created by the marker.
Gotcha. So I thought that they were essentially retconning the events of Dead Space so that what it's trying to do is birth a new Brother Moon here. But maybe that's not the case.
Yeah, that I someone like briefly, goddamn. Henderson, no, that's I literally was just thinking if I slow it down, maybe it'll help, but not by a lot. And it's also just like part of this fight is designed to be like tough. It's not supposed to be a thing where you can like, unless you have like the speedrunning strats and like a very specific setup that you get it like every time. I mean, pretty much, I think if I had to like guess like my like hit-miss ratio or whatever for this whole playthrough on stream, it's gotta be some dog shit like 10%, and I'm fine with that. It's part of the fun. Yes, Felix, that's also how I understand it to be too, is that I believe EarthGov was the organization who first made the red marker. The black marker is the one that's in focus for the second game, and that is the original that I don't believe was made by humans. So we talked about it before on stream, but there was a black marker, and that is the one that humans found, or that Michael Altman found before being made into the martyr, and then that is the one that humans saw and said, "Oh, you made that? We should make that." And then they did.
Yeah.
Time this up.
Oh, to get the explosion?
Damn it. No, I was gonna see if I could get that thing, the first one kill, and then the legs of this one down at the same ricochets. I want to do the thing that's supposed to be done in the early game where you save ammo by stomping them out. I can't risk the health.
They're still deadly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we covered everything from this thing from Monday. I
don't
guess
know.
we probably did.
Hannah, what else? You got anything else going on in your life while Tom's focusing on staying alive?
I started listening to the audio book of Britney Spears' memoir. I want to hear all that
Hot goss.
Yeah, I want to hear all that hot tea she's gonna be spilling.
I would be curious to read that as well. After like all the stuff with the, I forget what the name of the whatever position like her dad held. I forget.
The conservatorship.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole thing being revealed like put that in like a whole new light. Like I always kind of figured like, oh, it's definitely like some shady people were manipulating her in some fashion, but I didn't realize how seriously organized it was.
We failed her immensely.
Oh yeah.
As a society, we failed her. But yeah, she's talking about her childhood right now. So I'm on chapter 7, and it's she just got she just landed, I guess, the contract for to join the Mickey Mouse Club back in like the late 80s, early 90s, maybe.
Oh right, I've seen like I think the old pictures of her like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was saying how she's on there with Christina Aguilera, Terry Russell, and Ryan Gosling.
I forgot Ryan Gosling was part of that too. The early group of kids in the Mickey Mouse Club. I mean, that was
it's
the first one.
I definitely have a lot of sympathy for what she went through. I guess I was never that big, like, interested in her celebrity to begin with. So like I don't know. It was like, remember when she like had a breakdown and she shaved her hair and people like went nuts about it?
Yeah.
Like I I just like, to me that was just an existing cautionary tale about like how crazy our paparazzi media is. Ooh, nice dodge.
Over that?
Oh yeah. And
Nope.
I think like the other thing with that though is, and I haven't gotten there yet in the book, but you could probably
What was
go
the
back
first one?
and
So bad.
determine, right? You think of like all the other male celebrity scandals where the male celebrities probably did things who you could argue that one could argue are much worse and in need of a cry for help. And yet, you know, in the end, like Britney Spears, all she did was shave her head and attack a paparazzi's car with an umbrella. And she ended up being under a conservatorship for 13 years.
This is the part I'm probably gonna die at a bunch.
She didn't like physically harm anybody or really physically harm herself.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I'm more. I think I'm more interested. I think I'm more interested in Jeanette McGurdy's memoir.
The old like iCarly, the co-star.
Yeah.
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 She wrote a book called "I'm Glad My Mom's Dead," and that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I do want to read.
I want to read that too. Yeah, Felix, same with Justin and Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson got all the shit.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, right from like the Super
He
Bowl.
was exposed
thing?
at the Super Bowl, yeah.
That was
Even though he's the one who, yeah.
Woo!
Not great.
Yeah, hey, you did it!
I did it. It only
You
took
did
me
it!
much longer than usual, but it was still fun. I kind of like it on hard. I feel like it's.
Can you look over the edge?
It's like I know the fight, but when it's like more challenging like that, it's like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
See, I find it odd. I guess
Can you look
maybe
over the
not
edge
odd.
of the crater?
I don't relate. I don't relate to the fact that you and Cameron and Nate and maybe even Ian find that fun. I would find it extremely maddening.
Stonehenge.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I think it just comes from because we don't beat ourselves up about the failures. Like,
I mean, I definitely do when it comes to like the Souls games, only because like I got into them. Like, so the FromSoft like Dark Souls games being like known for being like hard or just punishing, but like I definitely do have games like that. I think the difference with Dead Space is like I've played through enough of it that like I don't like feel this like super sense of like I have to accomplish this particular thing. I'm like, I could die like 6 times in a row. I'm not worried about people on the internet being like, "Oh, you really suck at this." I'm like, I don't give a shit. I love this game. Like, I have fun just playing it, even if I'm doing bad. Like, that doesn't really bother me. But I do have that internal sense with other games. Like Armored Core, I've struggled with just because it's like I keep trying the same strategy and barely changing it, and like it just kind of it depends on the game, I guess. But like, yeah, there is something to be said about people who play these games for the sake of it being like, oh, well, if you die, you're not good.
yeah,
Or, you know, whatever. My can't think of like a good analogy for it right now, but I know what you mean, Hannah.
Like failing, period.
Yes, yeah. There definitely is like an internal sense
you
of that
have to
in games.
recognize how much added stress, anxiety, and difficulty and needless suffering that attitude brings to your life.
Well, I do recognize it. I just don't know how to. I guess I'm slowly but surely, I think, like, kind of been working to change the mindset a little bit, but it's still a wall to climb over.
That's what therapy's for, I suppose, right? It's learning to understand ourselves and try and like I'm not saying it's your fault that you think that way. It's an unfortunate result of whatever conditioning came from like your environment and your family, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm definitely not trying to say it's as simple as like stop doing that. I recognize that's not how it would work.
Yeah, definitely agree though. It's for some people I think it's kind of more of like an internal thing that's a little bit harder to get over. about like accomplishing things in general, or what you view as being like worthy of accomplishment, I guess. Damn.
Ooh, look at that.
Playing it big.
Ooh.
All that alien schmeat gone. Rip.
BBQ.
So that's it. That was the game. What do you think, Hannah?
We did it.
You did it.
We did.
You did
We
it.
collectively. And you, chat.
Is it Nicole?
Or-
Is it Nicole?
Huh?
Jesus, nigga stuff.
Was I Nicole the whole time? No. So no thoughts?
I think it's me.
So, like, now what do you do with your life?
To you.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. What do you do?
You're the sole survivor.
I mean, you probably retire, open up a little pastry shop on Station Zeta 7.
Yeah, I hear like Titan's not so bad this time of year.
Yeah, serve
A little bit more sun
blitzes and
than
crepes.
normal, or like whatever else there could be.
She's alive.
Where is she? Question mark. And that's it. That's Dead Space. That is specifically the Dead Space remake from earlier this year. But yeah, that's it. 12 chapters goes by fairly quick, although we've managed to make it last pretty much the whole year. But yeah, so I know we already talked about it. So anything else to add, Hannah? Did you enjoy doing this every so often on Wednesdays?
I mean, I enjoyed hanging out with you and Cameron and the chat. But did I like enjoy the game itself? No, not really.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I
That
think
men need to go to therapy. Yes.
Yeah, Felix, real.
we recommend therapy for everybody.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot recently, but yeah, like go do it.
I
It's
think
great.
what we've learned is Hannah needs to be the one playing the game to really get the full enjoyment. So we'll make sure that happens next
Right.
time.
I think if we can pick a game that we can find to be like a right level of stress management, I think just to start. I mean, like actually, that is, we've talked about this before, but I think one of the ideas we had going forward, besides whatever we decide to do for Wednesdays or in place of Wednesdays, would be to do some more like multiplayer stuff. Which,
Ooh, yeah.
party games or otherwise, I think would be a lot of fun because it gets everybody involved, and I think people seem to enjoy the stuff we played during the charity stream recently with Anthony from HaslageNet, and I think maybe we do some party game stuff for a little bit. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be so much fun.
Hannah, you gotta get your Switch
Yeah.
fixed.
I do need to get my Switch fixed.
Have you put in a ticket with Nintendo yet?
No, not yet.
All right, let's see if we can do that ASAP, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah,
If it's not under RMA, you can get like a cheap one, I'm sure.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be fun. I would be down to do some more of that. Henderson says, "Let them stream Subnautica. I promise I'll be entertaining." Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We do have more spots for guests. I don't know if we ever had a guest stream host. I guess maybe like I think Danny is the most like guest I would consider, but even then he's a solid regular at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
I missed the question. What was the question?
we were talking about what to do in place of Wednesdays, or doing more streams with like co-op stuff or more like party game stuff. I think to kind of bring more of that like camaraderie vibe than this, because this has been like nice to play, but I feel like this is definitely one of those where it's kind of like we just have conversations over it in play, which I don't mind, but I think if we want to change it up, we could do more cooperative stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of the game. I don't think anything actually comes at the end of this, although these credits are very long. Which also props to everybody who worked on this. I forget the name of the people that work at the studio that did the remake escapes me, but there's a lot of people on this, and for good reason. And shout out to everyone who worked at Visceral for the original, and sorry about what EA did, that was pretty shitty. But hey, there's a remake now that got a lot of blessing from the original creators, and that is really nice to hear. Visceral were some very fine folks, and the people that work on this game are some very, very talented game developers, as well as, I mean, really just every process, everything you got to do to make a game outside of programming too. So yeah, I was very happy to have this come out this year. Like a week before fucking the shadow drop of Metroid Prime Remaster, which is also great to play that.
Well, speaking of, because like so much, it feels like so much stuff dropped this year. Is this like one of your top games for the year at this point? The year's almost over, and we've had so much come out. As much as you enjoyed this, would you consider it like, oh yeah, this was definitely still one of the top games that came out this year?
I mean, of the year, yeah, I think just because I have such a big personal attachment to like the original Dead Space, I would say so. Only because the other like top stuff that's come out this year has been stuff I'm like still either like still playing through, or I'm kind of like playing just because like it's like around, or it's like, you know, it's in the sphere of what's popular, and I'm kind of just trying to like get some time in on some of those games to be able to talk about them.
Yeah,
but I'd say so. Like this and Metroid Prime are the two like personal favorites. But like Armored Core and Baldur's Gate and stuff like that is still pretty good. I just haven't had time to play them in a while.
Yeah, I still haven't played Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think
yeah, that's right.
It's on my list to do, but it's like I think because I have a different view of remakes, it's not I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, that's one I wouldn't mind playing. It's probably like on like the like second or third string list of games I would play if I had the time. But without that game, the original anyway, there would be none. There would be no other Dead Spaces or any Dead Space at all, actually.
Yeah, Dead Space, right? It's heavily based off of the Resident Evil 4 formula.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for tonight. Unless, do we have anything else we didn't get to that we want to talk about? Anything in chat that we didn't address? I've been doing my best to look over whenever I'm not getting my shit handed to me in this game.
Cameron,
Yes.
once I get my Switch fixed, if I want to play Super Mario Bros. Wonder,
Yeah,
the Yoshi...
it's multiplayer.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. The Yoshis and then Nabbit don't take damage.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, we could do that. We could do Super Mario. It's a little purple guy. He's from Super Mario Bros. U. He's a little purple thieving rabbit.
Okay. I have not played any of it, so I would be down.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks
everyone for hanging out. Thanks everyone for watching.
Congrats to Tom for beating the game off hard mode.
Good job.
Thanks everyone for watching that for as long as you did. But also I had fun. I always love playing this game in whatever capacity. So yeah, thank you for everyone who tuned in for this. Feels good to finish a game on stream, which I don't think I've done before. I think the only game I ever finished was Chrono Trigger, and that was also a slog. But that was fun. Yeah, thank you. We'll be back probably... Do we have any streams between now and Monday? I don't think so.
No. This weekend is filled with Halloween stuff and D&D stuff.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, so we'll be back on Monday at the very least. In terms of next Wednesday, I don't know. But Monday and Tuesday should be our normal streams. At least as far as I know, Danny will be streaming next Tuesday. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. And we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Buddy. time.